the umbrella of what the term covers. Mary Sue, which in this case is a very clear example of like it meant one specific thing, and then suddenly at a certain point, a very notable point considering the cultural context of what was happening, it blew up. It just suddenly expanded to cover whatever, and now it's continued to do that, where it really can just be applied to anything, but it is always applied to female characters, even whenever the same criteria apply to male characters.
Right.
But in terms of moral panics and these kind of forced adversity scenarios, Mary Sue then woke. We've talked about that before. The idea of what woke was originally is a pretty specific thing. And then, just the other day, we watched on stream a Fox News clip where they were talking about the power save feature on Xbox is woke.
God.
SJW, the precursor to woke, was like social justice warrior. Okay, I could see that being a specific kind of person. But then it just became, on the internet, becomes anybody who ever acknowledges,
any
systemic
issues,
oppression or gender, inequality or anything. And then there's CRT.
Oh God, that's a whole can of cans of worms.
To go back to one episode we've already done, Satan and Satanism. Yep. All the stuff we were taught, you taught me about with the D&D Satanic Panic. Really, that stuff had nothing. Even the things that they were conflating with are nothing like what traditionally Satan is about,
right?
Or Satanism. It's just like kind of fantasy, demon creatures or whatever. And then the last one is the shittiest one, and it's the one we're still experiencing, is groomer.
Oh God, yeah.
Where it's become just like anybody that's even okay with trans people existing in some cases, you're like, well, you're grooming children. And it's just, I think, another one of those things we can highlight as a hallmark of a moral panic kind of thing.
Yeah.
The expansion of the term is really probably the most functional element of all this that makes it dangerous, right?
And I think part of the moral panic, to tie it in with the groomer stuff. So, groomer meant a thing, and now it means a different thing. And that change of definition changed the target. And I think Mary Sue works the same way. So indulge me for a second. I know you've been doing none of that so far. But it meant a character the author empathized with on a deep level, right? It's a self-insert character. It is putting yourself in the story on a deep level. There's a high degree of sympathy and empathy there, obviously. What it means now is a woman you don't empathize with. And how dehumanizing is that, not only to yourself and maybe real life women for some people, because a lot of people I know who use the term loosely and liberally are not exactly great to women, and also have trouble with relationships with women for some weird reason they can't quite figure out.
Well, that's incidental, just completely unrelated.
I'm sure that's unrelated. But from how you connect with fictions, just like if you can't empathize with a character in a story, you just think it's bad. You just think that the writing is bad. The problem is bad writing. Well, no, it's the problem is you've cognitively limited yourself to it. Only if I can empathize with this character can I connect with them. And that's such a shitty way to live and to experience storytelling, to be like, I have to understand them. I don't empathize with Optimus Prime. He's a fucking robot, but he's awesome.
Hey, hello everybody. Oh, never mind.
Humans! You're not worth the flesh you're printed on! Fuck this cowboy shit! You fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers! All you have to do is give me the goddamn key, and we could get on with our lives. All right, this property is hereby condemned.
Here's the thing.
Gotta be clobbering kidding.
What was that? What the fuck was that guy that popped up on screen a minute ago? What the hell was that?
I don't
weird.
know. It was fucking weird.
Oh God!
I woke.
Oh God! Everybody's entitled to one good scare on Halloween, right? Yeah. So we were graced with the presence of well, I mean, if he comes back, I guess. Hey, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, you know him, right? You know that guy.
Yeah.
You know this guy.
I'm wearing my horrifying Starfleet science officer uniform.
Science is pretty scary to some people. So.
It is terrifying. You don't want to fuck with
Get that off the
science.
screen. Also, by the way, we also have Turf Nation joining us. So
Hey guys.
hey, Turf. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
You all right?
Look
Oh.
a little traumatized.
Sorry, I have to go.
What? Really? What the?
Jeez, he's just out. What the?
That's fucking weird. What's? All right.
I don't know if I like that guy. I don't know.
He's weird, man. He's weird. I don't know if it's a culture difference or something like.
You just have him cameo on everything now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Just like, hey, Turf. Oh, all right.
oh, he's gone now. What the hell?
Keep doing that.
He's acting like his dog has died or something. I wonder why.
Oh man. Hi everybody and welcome. All 11 of you. Fuck yeah. 11's pretty good for a FAPcast that wasn't planned and doesn't really have like an especially sensationalist title. It's just an excuse to talk about stuff on Halloween, I'll be honest.
I mean,
Let's see.
Thanksgiving, I just did a stream the same way. Just kind of like, hey, guys, let's come on. Let's stream.
I know I was there.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. The early days of the initiative.
Yeah. Old school.
I can't believe PP fucking brought up the fact that I misspelled the initiative back then. It's like,
dude, we don't talk about that.
I mean, he's like,
he owned us. We have to move on.
It's true.
We have to move on.
Let's see. We got some chats.
I'm deleting the channels.
It's a good idea. I mean, yeah, I mean, Anthony, we actually, that clip that you watched is from a full 2-hour conversation that we had about the term. And that's, yeah. It did have a definition and then it changed definitions at one point, and then it changed definition, or not changed, but like expanded. And really did kind of change, because at a certain point, like, I don't even think people think of it in the way that it was originally. Somebody said here, Mark actually is correct, that it was it was a Star Trek fan fiction concept originally. It was like and then it just kind of, I don't know, it's weird how it's been co-opted into what it is now. And even it's so fucked up. It's like several different layers removed. Oh, it's already started. Let me turn this banner off. It's several different layers removed from even not just what it originally was, but even what they claim it is now. They don't even apply it, right? Like, part of that stream we did, I uploaded it separately, was whenever we talked about Mahler's definition, how he described Ray as a Mary Sue, right? And like everything he says is just like not even accurate, pretty much, or it either is it's not accurate, or it is, and it also applies to Luke, kind of thing.
Mahler just has a thick, condescending voice. He talks slowly. He says very little, and frequently contradicts himself, and that's his gimmick.
It is true. It's very true. I did have I guess I wanted to ask you guys what you think about this. It's unrelated to the topic, but it's a loose episode, relaxed fit. That's what this episode is. But I'm curious what you think of this. Not that one. This one.
A result of original sin, do you think? If it is a result of original sin, would
Let me start it over.
is farting a result of original sin, do you think? If it is a result of original sin, would Christ have farted?
I mean, he could have assumed the defect, but without the sin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
These guys are having like this really nice little podcast setup they got going on there. I don't know for sure who these people are, but like, hey, happy Halloween, Space Ranger. Happy Halloween to one and all.
I hope they spent like 6 hours discussing a Jesus fart. I really do.
It's like, what the fuck? I mean, Debbie, not really, because Mary Sue's not really a thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's not a real thing. If it was, they'd be able to like point to one definitively, and I would be able to go, oh, I see exactly what you mean, and that definitely has stark rules that can be applied to something in another, you know what I mean? But I haven't seen anything like that. The people that you throw that term around doesn't tend to mean anything. Anyway,
true.
Halloween sadism. Huh? Go ahead. What?
I was just gonna say it usually just means woman in lead or in stronger than normal role. That's all it usually means.
Pretty much. No, that is exactly what we said. That no, you're right. You heard correctly.
Yeah.
We'll play it again just so you can hear
It was
the high
beautiful.
level.
Is farting a result of original sin, do you think? If it is a result of original sin, would Christ have farted?
I mean, he could have assumed the defect, but without the sin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how seriously they're talking about it too.
I mean, even this guy, like, he looks like he kind of wants to laugh a little bit, but like, he's like, I got to keep a straight face for Jesus.
You got to be serious, for Jesus. What would Jesus do? Would Jesus fart?
Would Jesus blame it on the dog? You know?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I blame it on the cats all the time. Sometimes the kids if they're around. Sometimes if they're not around, because then they can't even defend themselves.
Oh, I didn't see Mark's. Yeah, okay. By the way, hey, Morgan. Morgan had to work tonight. Otherwise, they'd be here fapping with us on Halloween. But I just couldn't let the holiday go without something FAPcast related because, well, I didn't have anything else planned. And then it seems like the appropriate podcast for it, considering the origins of it involving horror comic books and everything.
True.
But then after today, there will be no fapping, no FAP November until the end of November. Yeah, no fapping until I think it was the 19th is when we're going to come back and do Catholics versus Protestants. You got to be here for this one. Who's it, Mark? Wait, who was it? Make sure I got the right person here. I'm bad with names. Mark. Yeah. November 19th. It's going to be a good bit about JFK. I don't know how much. It's Morgan's episode.
It's a good movie, so it's good to discuss it.
What do you got going on, Bob? What's going on in your freaking world and shit?
Hey, obviously I don't have the kids tonight, so it seemed like a good night to do this. Do some fapping with you, dang, as we do. But
we haven't fapped together in a long time. We're constantly shilling, but we're not fapping.
I know we should fap together more. And then, I'm off work tomorrow, so I was like, hey, might as well do a Halloween stream. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we've already done we did an hour of content already, recorded it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's
true.
cool.
But we took a break, so my back should be okay for a little bit. Thursday I got my solo live stream. We got Initiative tomorrow. Yeah, good fun.
Yeah, we'll actually have an abundance of Initiative content tomorrow, I think, because we'll have this. I got to share the screen first. Well, that upload is some fresh content.
Yeah, that was a good discussion. And is that going to be out tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe so. I was trying to think. There's not really anything, like, we kind of just went through. We don't need to. Nothing really needs to be cut too much anyway.
All right. Yeah. No, it seemed like it was a good discussion, so it won't surprise me at all.
Once I get in
and
there,
also,
probably 15, 20 minutes to kind of get it trimmed up and get some graphics on it, and then it'll be good to go.
also on Thursday, I'll be going over a couple of these South Park videos and seeing exactly
boy.
what they're saying, because
I'm sure it's all really, really nuanced and like,
yeah, they're claiming victory, and it just confused. Like the face you use in this picture kind of summarizes my thoughts after watching South Park special and seeing them claim victory. I'm like, did we watch the same thing? What are you? What?
yeah. I mean, I feel like I chose faces for us all. That's just like, and of course, Turf. He's looking like that a lot lately. I'm kind of worried about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Probably
that's an
just
upload.
I was gonna
That'll
say
happen. But I got another upload that's going to happen this week.
Ooh.
I think the next day. No, Friday. I'm not even going to tell you what it is.
Oh, cool.
I've already falsely teased it too much.
Yeah. Shit.
I'm just going to not do anything now. It's just going to be there. Somebody asked, who's my favorite president? They're all fucking terrible. Some of them are just less terrible than others.
Lincoln for the win.
I mean, I would have said the same thing until you learn that, like, if he would have thought that not freeing the slaves would have saved the Union, he would have done that.
But he did.
And it's
But he did free the slaves. So
yeah, but I mean, not like out of like the kindness of his heart or something like that. It was just like his main thing was like, I gotta keep this country together keep it together for the kids, And I mean, it doesn't mean he's a bad guy necessarily. He's a product of his time, like anybody is. But still, it just kind of ruins. It kind of shits on the that purity, that idea of purity that you have about Lincoln. You know what I mean? Like, Lincoln was the fucking good.
I guess
hearted guy.
I've been disillusioned by so many presidents. I don't know. It just Lincoln. I don't think of him as being pure at all. Just
but I mean, he was the closest thing, Lincoln, in my mind, because obviously we're removed by a couple of hundred years and shit. So
and FDR, he's solid again for president.
I mean, he did a lot of stuff that was necessary and good and beneficial.
He wanted to do more. That was honestly needed.
But I heard that he liked to kick dogs. So,
Okay.
Yes, nobody's perfect.
He was actually a producer of Captain America 1990. He was working on it, and the only reason that movie was made was because of him. Yeah, he pushed it.
He actually created the character of Romulus for Marvel Comics. It's like, what a fucking piece of shit. I mean, personally, did he make it sound like he hunted down George Takei and it's like, you're Sulu.
Wow, this guy's a monster.
Get in the fucking cage. I'm sorry, that's not. I shouldn't do that kind of. Yeah, Japanese internment is fucking atrocious. It doesn't get talked about enough that we fucking did that. We just did that. We thought that was a good idea. Anyway, well, we're already way off the rails.
Oh, were we supposed to be on the rails? Shit.
No rails. There's no rails whatsoever. But yeah. All right. So what do you guys know about? Every year seems like it's been a specific thing the last few years, but for a long time it was like razor blades in your Snickers bars or whatever, and then sometimes there'll be poison or there's some kind of drugs or whatever. Did anybody have parents tell them that shit growing up?
I remember when I was a kid, my parents inspected my candy, and for the first couple years of my kids doing trick-or-treating, well, I guess it was probably really just Ashleen, I would inspect her candy before she ate it. And kind of eventually learning, wow, I am wasting time.
But are you? Maybe you're saving lives.
Yeah. There could be a Romulus in there. Could be a Captain America 1990.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw that. I made the thing that had like
Yeah.
a Romulus in the middle of a Snickers. It's like there's some awful shit in some of this
What,
candy.
what monster does this? My God. Nobody would want that.
on the FAPcast, me and Morgan, it's kind of one of our many running jokes about just like Romulus being fucking terrible. I mean, it's not really a joke; it's very serious that he's terrible. And Marvel needs to never acknowledge him ever again. God damn it. But yeah, let me pull open my sources here, because somehow, even though I knew this was coming and I even pushed it back an hour, I just, like you, I'd lost track of time, was doing other stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got this podcast that
there's a stream going on. That's right.
Okay, so got a little thing here. The practice of giving contaminated treats to children during trick-or-treating. It's been termed Halloween sadism. 1985, let's see, this guy posted an article, reviewed press coverage of Halloween sadism in 4 U.S. newspapers. The leading papers in the 3 largest metropolitan areas, New York Times, Los Angeles Times, and Chicago Tribune, as well as the Fresno Bee. The article, co-authored with some undergraduate students, examined those papers for the period of 1958 to 1984. And let's see. Try and get to the relevant stuff here, because I did not make any notes like a good professional person. So reviewing the pages, they found that they searched for reports that specified A, where the incident had occurred, B, how the treat had been contaminated, and then a story reporting that a child in Boston had received a candy bar with a pin in it would have counted as an incident. And then reviewing those reports, a couple of things stood out. First, there weren't all that many incidents reported. The belief in Halloween sadism is widespread. So this guy, he ultimately determines he didn't think that media coverage could be blamed. There simply hadn't been many stories. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the best thing to read, honestly, because like I think the media does play a role eventually. Yeah. But like starting out, it does seem to be that it's like a police thing. It's fucking cops, man. Cops are doing that shit. That's who started it, essentially. And then, you know, somebody would once it was reported one time, all it took would have taken is like some cop somewhere to go, let's put this out there, and for whatever reason, you know, somebody got paranoid or whatever and said, let's warn the community about this. And then all it takes is some douchebag to hear that to go, oh, now I'm going to call and report that my kid got some shit in his treat or whatever. And then that gets, you know, put in the newspaper or whatever. And it seems just plausible enough to be something that could happen. You know, if it's like some kind of blade or a pin or some shit. But at the same time, it just doesn't really seem to happen. I'm sure it has happened. Can't say that it's a zero thing, but so yeah.
Well, let's see. I was just looking into it right now. Just a story here on ABC Channel 6 here, but talk about how Joel Best, a professor of sociology and criminal justice at University of Delaware, has studied concerns about contaminated candy since 1980s. Best has collected data going back to 1958. I cannot find any evidence that any child has ever been killed or seriously hurt by contaminated treat picked up in the course of trick-or-treating.
What I was just reading was from Joel Best's website, joelbest.net. Yeah, so we're the same guy. I guess he's the guy, the go-to on this. So let's see. What were you looking at? What article? What?
It's a local TV station, okay. ABC 6.
So looking at the National Post, yeah. Now, of course, you got fentanyls and everything. There's definitely some myths around that shit. Although it's very dangerous, don't fucking touch it or go near it. Don't do it. But like, there's like there will be reports, quote unquote reports, of a cop that like touched it or something, and then he fucking dies or something like that. And it's like that's doesn't really happen. That's not that strong. John Oliver talked about this once, but yeah, it's so nobody's putting fentanyl in drugs, right? Like, and then there's also the THC gummies thing. Since weed has become more legal in a lot of states, you hear a lot of that. It goes around every year on Facebook. It's like, oh, watch out, because the gummies are basically the same. They look the same. And yeah, I guess it's possible that some stoner accidentally switches his candies up with the weed candies, but probably not likely. Yeah. And then, okay, so the kid sleeps for, a day, whatever.
No, Morgan, I just want to say almond joys are delicious. This is, I just, no.
Almond joys have nuts. Mounds don't, which makes them better.
Almonds are amazing.
Yeah, fentanyl kills people. That's for sure. I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to, say that fentanyl is not a dangerous fucking thing and a problem. It really is. It's yet another product of the pharmaceutical companies and our war on drugs that we're just winning it. We're fucking winning. God.
That's great. Oh, I'm getting kicked off now.
What did you do?
I went after that. I defended almond joys. That's what I did.
Well, I mean, yeah, Mounds is where it's at. Are we on the same page with that, Morgan? Are we Mounds over almond joy? Like, if I want to eat a coconut chocolate, I want to just have that coconut chocolate. I don't want to deal with this fucking nut that's in the middle of it. That I gotta chew this nut too.
I want that nut. I like the nut in my mouth. The sweet nut in my mouth. Oh, it's delicious.
So expect a new drop tomorrow on the show. So I'm not okay. Somebody asked what my favorite candy is. I'm not big on candy, to be honest. Like, I don't like a lot of the like. There's like chocolate type candies, I'll eat, but other than that, I don't know. I guess sometimes I'll get a wild hair and I'll want like some sour gummy worms or something like that. Well, I mean, that's fucking obvious. Mark, come on. Everybody knows. Where'd it go? Everybody knows. It's candy corn.
I will take candy corn over candy peanuts, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the last time I remember, even
they're both pretty bland.
And you know what? Whoppers used to be my go-to at the theater. I used to love getting some Whoppers. I don't know why. That was my thing. Last time I got them, I wasn't super into them.
I will be honest. My favorite candy has to be Twizzlers. It's probably just because I'm in the theater all the time. It's awesome.
You do go to the movies a lot. I'm jealous. It's like me back in I guess 2008 to 2010 or so. I was in there quite a bit. I was working at a theater at an Alamo Draft House, and and I got basically as many free movies as I wanted to. I could see brand new movies as long as they weren't sold out for free. And then we also did, that was like in that era that period was the last seasons of Lost and Battlestar Galactica, and the Alamo Draft House showed every episode of the last seasons of both every week. So you just go watch the fucking episode at Alamo and drink beer and yeah. Anyway. Sour Patch Kids, those are good. I like them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One weird thing I like to do is mix Sour Patch Kids with my popcorn at the movie theater. You get like these little sugar bursts in your popcorn. It's delicious.
Is that true, Ed? You stopped doing the cocaine because of fentanyl?
No, he stopped doing Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay. I don't see the connection, but all right. So let's look into that too. If you want to talk about some candy for a minute, Bob, I'll look into the fentanyl thing.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the fentanyl is that's what got Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, obviously, I think it was coke, but like, yeah, it was laced with fentanyl. But yeah, candy. Twizzlers is the best. Red Vines are good. Black licorice is an acquired taste. It's not something I eat just willy-nilly, but like if it's available, I'll usually have it. If you enjoy hard liquors, like the taste of black licorice and Jägermeister are like pretty much the same, for better or worse. It's not. It would never be my first pick, and I don't think I'd ever pay money for it. It was heroin. Yeah, you're right. It was heroin, not coke. Yeah, I was probably thinking coke because Ed said coke. Oh, and Ed still does cherry coke straight from Colombia.
Damn.
Hardcore, man. I love it. But yeah, fentanyl's a fucked up thing. The war on drugs is bad. We just need to, I know this is your stream, Dane, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Let's legalize and regulate drugs. This war on drugs is not helpful to anybody.
True. I mean, true. Look, I'm in Oregon where we literally do not have criminalization for simple possession anymore. Mm-hmm. I should probably look into the stats on stuff because I haven't really looked into it. It's been a couple of years now. I wonder how things are doing here.
The vote's coming up in Ohio for recreational use this next election. So in like a week. Yeah, a week exactly. Excited to see how that goes.
Recreational use is one thing. You got to get that decrim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, it still needs done at the federal level, which is something Joe Biden could pretty much do with an executive order, but doesn't because he's better than Trump. Okay.
Shit. Sorry, I had some stuff come up here.
It's all good. Drugs won the war on drugs. Morgan, I think you're correct.
I might have to leave for I don't know, up to 5 minutes at some point. So if I just vanish.
My God.
So I found a Houston Chronicle article, but it's going to make me fucking sign in, isn't it? Yeah, God damn it. About how experts believe that no, here's a different one. Oh, okay. So yeah, experts downplay risks of Halloween rainbow fentanyl, which is what the stuff was called. Worries over fentanyl tainted Halloween candy were spurred when the DEA, trusted fucking organization there, put out a PSA about the matter, which was, I guess, just last year. Expert interviewed by NPR said the issue is heavily politicized.
What isn't anymore?
Separately, Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody renewed those warnings. So, of course, while everybody else is like, oh, calm down, everybody, it's not actually a real problem, Florida's like, no, it's real. Be afraid. But, it might actually be a little bit more dangerous in Florida. They got some drug problems over there. So, USA Today, rainbow fentanyl passed out on Halloween. Experts say that's absolutely ludicrous. It's been an annual tradition for people to raise concerns of drugs like marijuana, edibles, or dangerous objects such as needles to be inside candy for the holiday. But this time around, it's been different, at least to Joel Best, a sociology this guy has the fucking lockdown on this fucking subject. He's just everywhere.
The theme of this episode is Joel Best. Who is Joel Best? We're going to find out everything about him this episode.
Look, FAPcast is canceled. This whole podcast is now dedicated to finding out who the fuck this guy is. All right. He's everywhere. He's got his fingers in everything, including your Halloween candy. But no, he doesn't because it's a myth. Anyway, so he's sociology and criminal justice professor. who spent decades studying the scare and writing articles all over the internet, apparently. This year has been especially unusual because you have prominent people pointing to a particular danger, which, of course, is the danger of rainbow fentanyl. This has been very strange.
He appeared on an episode of Adam Ruins Everything where they talk about the strangers with candy stuff.
Jesus Christ. Wow. I mean, Adam Ruins Everything. He's pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'd let him ruin some stuff for me.
Well, I mean, that's what FAPing's all about.
True. It's just like, look, okay, fentanyl is an opioid. Oh, and anybody that knows anything about opioids and taking them, you're not gonna give any away to fucking kids with it's fucking stupid. You're like holding on to that shit for dear life. It's silly. And the same thing goes for weed generally. Like, even in a state where it's legal and stuff, like, nobody wants to give their weed away to somebody that doesn't like. And that's where let's talk about the issue at in common with all of it. No matter what it is you're finding in your candy, kids' candy, it presumes that there are just a shitload of people out there that want to go out of their way to harm someone they don't fucking know. And not only that, but children who are just like, literally, they want to ruin this kid's life, maybe even kill them, because they're just out being innocent, doing innocent Halloween shit. And, I'm gonna, I'm gonna fuck these kids up tonight. Like, what the fuck?
I saw a weird story about, like, be careful, they might, put like gummies in your kid's candy or something like that. And I'd be like, I would be pissed if my kid got gummies and didn't share. That'd be
and then
obnoxious monster.
Like, generally, there's a whole lot of like assumptions that come along with it. So if you're talking about weed stuff, then it's like it kind of it rests on this assumption that people who do drugs, weed, they're the kind of insidious people that want to get children fucked up. And it's it's really generally not something I've ever encountered where there's anybody that I would have ever encountered that did that. I would not have been friends with them or seen them again. Generally, most people don't want to fucking non-consensually get anybody fucked up, especially kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'll joke, but yeah, it's not cool.
It's just so weird. It's like it. Yeah, it really is Reefer Madness 1950s mentality.
Reefer Madness. I've not seen the newer one, but like the old one is cheesy gold. Just people going insane on marijuana. Well, I think in the end they kill somebody on a marijuana high, and it's like, this was written by people who've never done marijuana, right?
I mean, you're right. Like, I get it. Like, it's definitely much easier as a parent to just resort to the thing. It's like, well, what's the harm in being cautious about it, right? Well, maybe not anything immediate, like, but if enough parents are thinking this way, and then they kind of get together, and then like a movement starts about a certain thing, or whatever, like, it can create problems. And it's just a good idea to just check on stuff like this. If you hear of something that's like, oh my God, that's really dangerous and scary, maybe before you react with like some, grand decision to change everything about how things are done in your family or whatever, you could just do a quick Google search. I don't know. And see whether that's energy you're spending on something that you don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Google's a wonderful tool.
Well, it's getting worse.
True. I mean,
I don't know if you've seen
getting worse.
I don't know if you've seen how it prioritizes like stuff that will make Google money now.
Oh yeah, no. I love how whenever you do a Google search, the first like 5 results have nothing to do with your search. It's just ad, sponsored link. Cool.
Well, Mark,
that is
actually true. Joel Best did say that the Tylenol scare which was a real thing to a degree, that precipitated all this. So it probably is very much just, so even if not consciously, kind of assumed that, oh, if that can happen, then anything can, kind of thing. And I don't know, just at this point, especially years later, decades later, after these scares have been going on and there's been, virtually nothing to support any of it. Especially now, I think it makes sense to go to look at and see how many incidents of this are there. Oh, zero.
Yeah.
Well, zero that have resulted in anything. Of course, there's been outliers of here and there, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure stuff does occasionally get in candy in that, could be a tragic situation, but that's not a
Anthony.
Yeah.
Not, dude. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, what the fuck is this? This is not something. I'm sorry, man. You're not going to do gendered fucking, women, these dames are too fucking hysterical or bullshit in this. Sorry, man. You're just not. That's not okay.
I mean, I will say I get when parents get overprotective. I get that. I'm a parent. I get that. Occasionally, it's just like you just want safe than sorry. But yeah, it's just kind of parents in general.
Parents,
you have to temper it with logic sometimes.
Gots to. But yeah, generally, man, like just I don't know if you haven't looked into this, Anthony, or what, but like it's both, whether it's a mom or dad, two moms, two dads, whatever it is. Some people are just kind of more reactive to stuff and overly emotional to things, and it's just like there's not really a gender component to it. Did Bob paint his face?
Yeah, I painted this goatee on my face.
So technically, you're mirror universe Spock is what you look like.
Yes, I'm mirror universe. Absolutely, I'm the evil version or the good version. Yeah. Which one is it?
Well, I mean, if you're the mirror universe of Bob, I guess you're the
guys. I'm gonna tell you why wokeness is a disease that needs to be stopped.
But what about farting?
A result of original sin, do you think? If it is a result of original sin, would Christ have farted?
I mean, he could have assumed the defect, but without the sin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of want to see alternate universe version of me in the initiative, like all screaming the anti-woke shit.
Yeah. By the way, Friday. New show title, name, structure, focus on Friday. What was Live AF? I mean, I guess it still can be that, but really now it's this. Here's the thing.
Gotta be clobbering kidding.
Here's the thing. And then I had to clip this out because fucking this guy, he had one independent of knowing that I use it as a drop and a meme all the time. He did his own thing in his video.
Here's the thing.
I mean, I added that.
Who the hell is that guy?
Yeah. Call him
Pilar?
Yeah. Call him.
What a weird name. I can't pronounce it. It must be foreign.
It's foreign. It is. Didn't you hear the weird accent?
Crawling chaos. It might just be me. I'm playing around with different light settings on my light. It's to add more color. I mean, if I do the regular light, it just I look really pale. I'm figuring it out.
You do look kind of jaundiced right now.
Being picky. See, can I reach it from here? I'm kind of mess with it live. No, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna be jaundiced.
Everybody farts sometimes.
True. That was my favorite.
He's a trash man. He's a trash man. I throw garbage and start eating the garbage. Oh my god. This is good. Oh, what about this? Did you guys see this?
Well, it is what it is. All right. That
Ew, booger.
That's cool, bro.
He did that live on TV, and why is his booger so animated? It's weird.
So they even have sound effects.
It's weird.
I saw one clip going. It's caused me to realize something about Eric. It's like another clip on Twitter I saw where he's wearing a tank top and he's talking about. I think it was the one where he like kind of like threatened to like kill Dick if it was 2006 or something.
Eric's never threatened somebody, so I don't know what you're talking about.
He basically did like man, if this was back in the day, you know, and he kind of did like a holding a gun motion kind of thing. But like he literally like, I'll turn on my camera so I can show what he's like sitting there, and he goes like, while he's talking, he's just kind of pinches his underarm hair, and he's like, it's just like, oh dude, you just grooming on stream way too much, man. You got to do that stuff in private.
That's awesome.
Where? I mean, he probably gives out pocket, NAP pamphlets, non-aggression principle pamphlets.
Sure.
You know, the non-aggression thing where like you don't aggress against someone unless they say something that you don't like, then you threaten to fucking kill them.
Yeah, that's non-aggression. Absolutely. Pure, unadulterated. Listen, I would never beat you up unless I felt like it.
I mean, unless you say something like disrespectful. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't be disrespecting me, and then I won't have to aggress on you. All right? All right.
It's very respectful.
You know what's fucked up about like moral panics and like the stuff like, and this is something that definitely went into the creation of the FAPcast, and it's, you know, we talked about it in our episode 0 thing. The people get focused on this kind of shit where there's like virtually nothing in most cases of any real harm happening, but then like nothing whenever something like this comes out.
Speaking of groomers, the DOJ found out that the Southern Baptist Church has about 400 pastors convicted of sex crimes and pedophilia against 700 victims. Yeah, that about tracks. Literally no outcry from Republicans, like literally nothing, even though this right here is more cases of child abuse from this specific group of pastors than has ever been found against like a trans drag queen, whatever.
But they must have been doing it at a drag story hour or something, though.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, there's got to be priorities going on, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stupid humans.
Yeah, the church is insane.
It really is, and I think it makes people insane. It allows people to be insane, I think.
And I want to stress, it doesn't mean everybody who's religious is insane.
Yes, it does.
Like
no, it doesn't.
Sorry.
It doesn't.
There's so many good people who are religious. I'm not, but I'm not a good person.
You're not a good person.
Yeah. No, I'm covering all my bases. I'm not either of those. But there are people who qualify under both, and I they're good people, and I just think maybe their philosophy is a little backwards, but they mean well, and so yeah.
Well, I mean, you know where it's not happening though, Anthony. It's not happening at drag queen story hours. It's not happening, it's not happening whenever a child learns that gay people exist. That's not when someone's being groomed. Persons are good. People are bad. Institutions are evil. Interesting. Hot take.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of the Men in Black line where Tommy Lee Jones is explaining it to Will Smith how, hey, a person can be good, but people are panicky and crazy and got issues there.
So just real quick, it would be irresponsible not to mention this part of the fentanyl thing. So yeah, despite it not being a thing that really happens with Halloween candy or whatever, Fentanyl is behind 1 out of 5 deaths of Californians ages 15 to 24.
Holy shit.
That's a lot. Yeah. Man, this show's just a roller coaster. Bummer fact, and then we make a joke about armpit hair or whatever.
No, you know, we like to like, you know, do it in waves.
All right, so we're gonna go to the source, capital T, capital S, the source for some poison candy myths here.
Your best.
Wow, whoa. Claims that candy was poisoned or adulterated gained general credence during the Industrial Revolution.
Holy shit.
When food production moved out of the home or local, I mean, I guess that makes some sense, right? Like that, there would be that initial fear of like, oh God, they're just making this shit in some building somewhere. Like, who is it? Who's even making it? We don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it was made in familiar ways by known and trusted people in homes. Then it goes to strangers using unknown ingredients and unfamiliar machines and processes. Yeah, I can see some fear there. Some doctors publicly claimed that they were treating children poisoned by candy every day. Cool.
Wow.
Irresponsible doctors. And then they tested your humors and found that you had a break in your blood or something, because they were stupid doctors.
Well, you know, after that they treated it with a bloodletting and the kid was good to go.
Mm-hmm. If a child became ill that had eaten candy, the candy was widely assumed to be the cause.
I don't see how that tracks. Like, that's perfect logic right there.
So 1890s and 1900s, U.S. Bureau of Chemistry, in conjunction with state agencies, tested hundreds of kinds of candy and found no evidence of poison or adulteration. So there was trace amounts of copper found in some candy, from uncoated copper cooking pans. That makes yeah, okay. Oh, look! Of course, we've come across this old shit. So the more modern era of it, you know, really kind of started in the 60s and 70s, and it had it was all mixed in there with racial integration. So there was a bit of a racist, like, you don't know who's making that candy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, why does it always go back to that? Oh.
I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. Like, is that really? That's just what it boils down to in a lot of cases. Just some bigotry. Because society was struggling with questions about whether to trust neighbors in newly integrated neighborhoods or young women who were publicly rejected with subservient motherhood-focused roles previously assigned to women. These stories about unidentifiable neighbors allegedly harming random innocent children during an event intended to bring happiness to the children. Fucking stupid.
Yeah. Why do human beings have to do this?
They used to have like safe or alternative events for trick or treating, where they would like literally hold it in a certain, you know, limited area to just people that they knew, which I guess isn't terrible in and of itself, but it is just kind of like a lot of effort to go through over panic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in 1959, we've got a legit incident here.
Ooh.
And it's actually kind of funny. So William Shine, in 1959, California dentist, gave candy-coated laxative pills to trick-or-treaters.
Ooh.
He was charged with outrage of public decency and unlawful dispensing of drugs. And I imagine there was something in there about, like, you know, he had to clean up all the crap too.
Quite literally.
Oh, this little bitch here. So in 1964, a disgruntled Long Island, New York woman gave out packages of inedible objects to children who she believed were too old to be trick-or-treating. The packages contained items such as steel wool, dog biscuits, and ant buttons, which were clearly labeled with the word poison. Though nobody was injured, she was prosecuted and pleaded guilty to endangering children. The same year saw media reports of lye-filled bubblegum being handed out in Detroit and rat poison being given out in Philadelphia, although these media reports were never substantiated to be actual events.
Yeah, no, that seems like a big deal, and you think there'd be like at least children in the hospital, but you think it'd be substantiated.
So yeah, I think that so it was already happening before the Chicago Tylenol murders, but once the Tylenol murders happened, yeah, then people started taking it more seriously, and kind of like that's when it became, I think, like you tell it everybody you know you've heard about this thing happening, right? I can definitely see that. Debunking the myths. Joel Best, a sociologist at the University of Delaware,
Who's that? I've never heard of him before.
in the scholarly study of candy tampering legends. Yeah, and then he just says what he already said that he did that I read earlier. Not real. And then there's misattributed deaths. So the deaths of 5 children were initially blamed on stranger poisoning. A key quality of the poison candy myths is that the poisoner is a stranger who is indiscriminately murdering children rather than dying from an unrelated medical condition or being poisoned by a family member. All these claims were proven false upon investigation. None of them were poisonings by strangers. But yeah, some of them, some dark ones, I think, what I remember looking before, like there was actually some that was one that was blamed on some strangers, but it was actually the parents or something. Which is just, hey, don't kill kids, okay? We're going to take that stand on this podcast here.
Yeah, it's a hot take, we know, but just don't do that.
Even if they like Romulus from Marvel's Romulus or something, like, you know, give them a chance.
Yeah, see if they grow out of it. But I understand it's a tough pill to swallow. But you just gotta let them grow out of it. They will. They'll figure out Romulus pretty quickly.
In 1970, a 5-year-old boy from Detroit died after finding and eating his uncle's heroin. The family attempted to protect the uncle by claiming the drug had been sprinkled in the child's Halloween candy. Cool. And then in 1974, 8-year-old boy in Texas died after eating cyanide-laced package of pixie sticks that his father had planted in this trick-or-treat pile.
Yeah, you do hear messed up stories about like the families doing shit like that, which is somehow, just in my mind, just somehow worse. Like kids dying in general, just terrible. But like their actual family doing it,
it gets worse. So
for fuck's sake,
to try to cover up the fact that this happened, he gave out poisoned candy to other children, attempting to make it seem like it was just a problem that, you know, his son happened to be a victim of, instead of, you know.
Oh, no.
And thankfully, no other kids consumed the poison treats. And the murderer, who had wanted to claim life insurance money, was executed in 1984. But because the poison candy myth describes random or indiscriminate murders by strangers rather than murder of a son by his own father, this is not technically an example of poison candy myth. So
that's the interesting thing. When you actually look for technical examples of poison candy myth, it quickly becomes clear it's not a thing.
Things are different than other things.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Did you really? Wow. What was that like? Oh, it was weird. Okay. Everything goes back to racism. Why does this keep happening? Because I mean, there's a lot
Beings
of
are flawed creatures.
We're really kind of crappy beings sometimes, and you know, there's humans have I guess instinctual. Our brains notice things that are different than what we're used to. That's like an evolved thing that helped us survive back in the day. It's like, oh, that I don't know what that thing is. That big cat with big tusks or whatever. Like I should probably not like that thing. But you get people that don't acknowledge that fact, and they don't check those biases that their brain might throw in front of them, and then they just run with it. And in some cases they just they run really far with it, and they'll become Nazis and shit. There, I explained it. I explained racism.
Yay! Racism solved.
I mean, explained maybe, but
no, we're good now. We're good.
You have a Halloween weather story. All right. We didn't talk about that, but I mean, I guess I could look at that. I could see what I can find about that.
Oh,
Dan,
really? I didn't know there was a law against that.
Man, I hope you're okay. And God damn you for doing that to yourself.
I just hope you had fun. Okay, that's the important thing. So, oh no, I gave weed to myself. Well, let's roll with it. Can't let it go to waste.
No, why would you?
Oh, I did not know. Kind of interested about the trick-or-treating laws.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have to step away for just a moment though. So I have a clip that I can play. I guess I wasn't gonna do this and tease it again, but might as well. Show what the thing is that's gonna be on Friday. Some of you might remember that this was supposed to happen already. Well, it's gonna happen now. I'll be right back, Bob. You can pause it or do whatever you want.
All right. No. All right. So I was
like in the West are starting to.
Oh, my bad.
Looks good.
Okay. If you're gonna talk about stuff, go for it. I just didn't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah, no. I hold on. I'm trying to pull up something. I just gotta disable my ad blocker apparently because. Yay. Well, let's see if I can bring this up. Yeah, no, this is oh my god. Okay, let me bring it up so you guys can go see that the hell I'm going through right now with this stupid webpage. Apparently, yeah, there's trick-or-treating laws going into effect. Let me pull that up right now. USA Today, apparently a dreadful site, by the way. But yeah, only kids and teens 14 and under can go trick-or-treating in Chesapeake, Virginia right now. A law changed in 2019. Any kids over the age of 12 caught trick-or-treating could face jail time or up to 6 months and fines of $100. Really? That's holy. What? Like, is this like a serious problem? Like, obviously, adults trick-or-treating, no. But, like, I don't know. I'm kind of okay with teenagers trick-or-treating. Fuck. Here's a whole bunch of towns where no trick-or-treating after 12 or after the age of 12, over the age of 12. Wow. 12 also seems kind of young. Let's see. Charleston's 16. That's kind of wild. Yeah, no, these are bans on trick-or-treating. Like, you can't trick-or-treat past a certain age in these towns. I don't believe my town has one. I mean, my daughter's still trick-or-treating. She's 15. Didn't even think it would possibly be an issue. But yeah, that is wild. Yeah, exactly. like I understand adults shouldn't go trick or treating. Hey, if you're an adult, maybe you leave the trick or treating to the kids. But like, I don't have a problem with teenagers trick or treating at all, especially if they're there if they're younger siblings. But I don't know. I mean, even if they're just with their friends, as long as they aren't causing any mischief or anything, yeah, go get free candy. Fuck, you aren't young forever. Enjoy yourself. That is wild, though. I agree. Especially jail time. The idea of jail time for that shit? Bullshit. Yeah. Morgan here saying last time gave out candy, it was kids, teens, and any adults who wanted any. And that's the thing. Lots of times, like when I would occasionally live somewhere where I hand out candy, I'd usually have tons of extra, and it's like, please take it. Otherwise, I'm just going to eat it, and I don't need it at all. But I'm not going to throw it away. But yeah, I just think that's wild. See, let's see. Is there something else? Let's see. I don't have any video queued up. Let's see. What's the scariest thing I could show you guys? I know. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys some of the scariest shit ever. And I'm going to apologize if there's anybody too young to handle this type of horror. This is gonna be horrifying. Okay, I want you to understand that. Give me a second. I have to reload this. All right, this is the scariest thing you will see probably in your whole life. I'm gonna apologize straight up because this is scary, but this is some final scenes from Captain America 1990. Terrifying shit, I swear to God.
Oh God, what are you doing?
This is horrifying. I'm showing them something scary, Dane.
Oh, the smile? Yeah, your stream is going too slow. It's all stop motion.
But it's hilarious.
For my patrons and channel members, what we did one time was we watched that movie together.
The Captain America 1990?
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that to them?
Because the point was to hang out with people, to hang out and to have a good time, and like you're not gonna hang out and like I'm not gonna hang out and talk to people when I'm watching like Winter Soldier. I'm gonna be watching the movie.
True.
So like
yeah,
with that like you could laugh and yeah.
Oh, I have actually wanted to check out Pastor ever since I just saw the title on it. It's on Amazon Prime, and I saw the title. I was like, I want to watch that, and I've never gotten around to it. But it's a pastor who becomes a velociraptor. And,
that's very well named then.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name.
I'm trying to think, man. I wish I could show this, but like apparently this file format is not going to be read by StreamYard, so fuck it.
Nice. I haven't encountered that with StreamYard yet. Good fun. Oh, that might be worse than Captain America 1990. Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh God.
That is a chore. Oh shit.
Sorry. So the costume. the costume of the 8-year-old here was in the room here with me. I don't know why I let him put it in here earlier whenever he got out from school, because I should have realized, he's going to need to get that back out to go trick-or-treating. And so I had to do that. That's why
Morgan, I just have to say, as much as I am not a fan of Rise of Skywalker or the prequels even, Holiday Special is so much worse. I'm not sure where you're coming from, where it's no longer the worst holiday or the worst Star Wars movie, if we count it as a movie, which is
yeah.
That's
I mean, I hate Rise of Skywalker as a movie in and of itself. It's not worse. The negative effect that it has on Star Wars, I think, is undeniably much greater.
Yeah, I that argument could be made. Because at least the Holiday Special, like, there's not... The internet's kind of spread it back around, but, like, for a while there, nobody had really seen it. And George Lucas had his famous thing where it's like he vowed to go out and destroy every single copy in existence.
It's like, and then there's that quote of George Lucas. He goes, "It's like poetry. It fucking sucks."
Yes. You're talking about the Holiday Special. Famously. It's a great quote.
Was that Turf that said that today? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's like poetry. It sucks.
I don't know if he had that planned or what, but his delivery was perfect. It was like, he's like George Lucas said, it's like poetry. It fucking sucks. We have fun.
That was good. Mm. I mean, when the little whatever his name, Lumpy, I think that's Lumpy. When Lumpy sits down and watches a Jefferson airplane performance, and you realize this is probably the most entertaining part of the Star Wars special you're currently watching, you know you've stepped in something bad.
It was definitely I mean, look, Rise of Skywalker not only doesn't have Carrie Fisher, it doesn't, I mean, no, I guess it does a little bit, but not really. But it also definitely doesn't have Carrie Fisher's Coke nail.
God.
Which, the Holiday Special does have. She's got her big, long pinky nail.
She's you also get her singing along to the Star Wars theme song, which is amazing. She is so stoned in that movie, you can tell.
I would agree with this. I would say that I think I get what Morgan's saying. That I don't think it's boring is the right word. It's like there's so much shit being thrown at you, and you don't care about like any of it, and so it's more like mind numbing.
Yeah, like Rise of Skywalker genuinely feels like they're trying to appease everybody, and it's just failing at every aspect. Like, oh my god, just like, I mean,
it would be one thing if they were actually trying to appease everybody.
Yeah,
they're trying to appease everybody except for people that loved fucking Last Jedi.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of were, but like it just was sucking. It was all just half-ass and like, just let's just jam shit into this script and not actually think about how this makes sense for the story whatsoever.
Let's just start a main franchise entry movie with an action sequence rather than starting in space and then fucking, dropping down to whatever smaller situation you're trying to zero in on, as every other fucking Star Wars movie opens with.
Yeah.
Not this one. No, we're just, it's really, that's the first shot, first scene is just like the rest of the movie. It's fucking awesome looking. But when you think about it, it's like, why are we watching this right now?
Yeah.
Like, can we not find... I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but don't worry. At least that movie finally established that Palpatine fucks. Because that was something I always wanted to know about.
I mean, look, if you paid enough attention to the prequels, you knew he fucked already. You could tell. He's got that swerve, that swagger.
At least prequel wasn't all like face melty though. Face melty Palpatine still fucked apparently, and I just have that image now.
Look, whenever he
it's not
says
going away.
whenever he used to take chicks to that weird opera thing that he takes Anakin to,
Yes.
he takes chicks there and he says stuff like, "Oh, democracy for that matter." Chicks are like, "Gush," you know, gush.
Pretty hot.
Right.
Let go of your feelings.
Not from a Jedi. You can't get that kind of dick. Not from a Jedi.
Oh no. Yeah, like most people who hate people who hate both Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker are like, fix Last Jedi, and
So did they hate those and then they loved Force Awakens? Because look,
yeah.
the only way Force Awakens in my mind is like a decent, pretty good movie is that it was a promise of something more.
Yeah. No,
You know,
like I remember Force Awakens came out and everybody was upset that like it was aping too much off the A New Hope. And I'll be blunt, while I also felt it aped too much off A New Hope, I thought it did a really fucking good job. And honestly, most of the time when you're dealing with movies, execution trumps honestly story. It does.
Yeah.
I know lots of people don't like to say that, but it does. And it was a great execution.
It did ape a little bit too much, but at the same time, I feel like that they did it and consciously going because they wanted to. You think about what the state of the fucking movies were in at that point. It had been, since Return of the Jedi, since what most people would agree is like a solid Star Wars movie, but even though you'd had 3 movies between that, so like in a way, Disney was trying to say, hey, we understand what this is supposed to. We understand what it means to you. We understand what a good Star Wars is. We're and so much so we're going to show you that we can kind of do that original one and a little updated here and there, add some new characters and whatnot, and you'll still like it. I feel like that was a trust us. Look at what we can do.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I mean, that's exactly what it was. I mean, people love on the prequels now. They don't remember back when Disney bought the franchise and people hated those prequels. I mean, I suspect that's part of why George Lucas sold the damn thing. He just didn't want to deal with the hate and the vitriol towards those movies anymore. To a degree, I get it, but like, Disney's saying, hey, we're giving you something a lot like A New Hope, kind of, so you feel safer. And then, lots of people are like, oh, it's too much like A New Hope. So what they did to follow up was The Last Jedi. Last Jedi is nothing like Empire Strikes Back. It's just its own thing, taking its own direction. And now everybody's pissed because it's new. And I'm like, you can't have it both ways, people. You just can't.
This settles it. Morgan, we're going to have to do a Last Jedi episode. Maybe a Star Wars series. I don't know, but definitely Last Jedi. What is this thing here asking me to do here?
What? Who? What?
Oh God. Oh God. All right. I'll have this going in a second. It looks perfectly atrocious and awesome. Anyways, so you want to check out what I got of this edit of the drinker video? It's going to be the final edit for sure.
Ooh.
I simplified it a bit. I updated a couple things, streamlined it. I was going a little bit too crazy with some edits originally, having some time, away from it, and then coming back to it. I was like, oh, some of this is unnecessary. Let me get this out of here. Actually, I guess we might as well mention this. Ripaverse has announced memberships, monthly subscriptions that gives fans early access to Ripaverse crowdfunding campaigns. So you pay to get early access to pay money to him.
Oh my god! I thought, is that $99 a month?
Yeah, that's what it
Oh
seems
my
like.
god! And you get 30% off the merch. Yay!
But not the actual comics. And then look, kudos to these audience members of his, I guess, but like people are finally, I guess, a few people are not liking it. I thought $99 for a year. I was about to sign up. Those savings if I buy anything. But per month, nah, I'm not rich like that. I got the last campaign A, B, C, D graded and signed without being a member tier. Those prices are a bit high for what you get in return. And then it gets a little... This guy says, this is wrong. We was really hoping something like this wouldn't happen. Guess I was wrong about the Ripaverse. Odds of me getting the cover I want from future campaigns are gone now unless I'm a paying member. Sorry, but this is the wrong move. I've been there on day one for both campaigns so far. What are the odds I'm not able to get the rare items because I'm not a member? I'm really supportive of Ripaverse, but I'm really sketchy about not being able to get access to things just because I'm not a paying monthly membership fee. Man.
That is insane. Like, is he going to start releasing a lot more shit too? Like, you'd almost have to for that. I don't know. I guess maybe if you're getting $100 a month from random people, then maybe you don't care.
So, oh my God, with this, you get voting and focus groups. They're going to write the fucking Ripaverse based on that.
Oh
shit.
my God. Focus groups?
Yep.
Is that the type, like that's shit Disney would do? Like, I thought he was different.
No, he's everything that he fucking claims he's not. Except like, you know, yeah, no, he just is.
Except educated in writing.
Christ, man. Oh, you can be in a focus group at $9 a month, for fuck's sake. Like, I thought that would just be like exclusive for the top tier. No, just you pay $10 a month, you still get in that focus group, buddy.
If you have ideas, we'll steal them from you. Because we don't have any.
Anyway, I just wanted to make fun of that for a minute.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, imagine paying for this. So yeah, this will be what comes out Friday. I'm actually going to go ahead and call it here, unless you wanted to hang out some more, Bob.
No, I'm good.
I feel like we kind of just, I knew there wasn't going to be a super substantive topic to go, yeah, actually all that stuff is fake. It was more just, you know, just an excuse to say Happy Halloween. And
well, I mean, spoiler, I knew the ending.
I know. I think a lot of people knew it was bullshit. But that's okay.
I mean, the moral of today is do not give kids Romulus or Captain America 1990. That is just wrong. It's immoral. It's inhumane. And it's irresponsible.
Actually, before we do, I remember that I've got a couple things I've been meaning to look at forever, and I just never think about it. Well, let's look at them now. They're really more for initiative type stuff, but kind of this show too. Let me find them real quick. Okay. So here is an article by Dan Geier in a newspaper as the plans for a new television show called Star Trek The Next Generation were beginning to reach the public.
That sounds like it might be woke.
As Star Trek 4 was ready for release in October, Paramount announced that the series will return to television as Star Trek The Next Generation, timing the announcement to call attention to the slate of syndicated programming. The series is scheduled to premiere September 1987, on the 21st anniversary of the telecast of the original show. The new show, Gene Roddenberry serves as a producer, but none of the original main cast members are expected to return to the tube. What? Already, Star Trek fans have voiced disapproval of the new Of course they have. It would be a disaster, said Tom Woodward, a Chicago enthusiast. to bring something like that back just won't work. There's something extra the show had that can never be duplicated. Actually, that something disappeared during the 3rd season. Roddenberry wrote the very last episode, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
To throw away everything except for the title, well, the Trekkies would never accept it. This is like bringing back Lucille Ball. Another Chicago Star Trek buff, David Ellerman, agreed. Even the title of the show sounds like bad news. It's like a generic title. Somebody slaps on an inferior show just to gel name recognition. Star Trek Next Generation sounds like a Pepsi commercial. Huh? What? Oh. I mean, I don't know. The original series, which ran from 66 to 69, was a late bloomer, ranking 52 amongst all series during 66-67, its first and peak season. NBC canceled the series in 69 because of declining audiences. It was popular among young viewers, but not among network advertisers who were after bigger ratings. You know, I just think that kind of shit's funny to read this kind of thing. And then, like, you can find people upset about, you know, things in Empire Strikes Back when it came out, like how it's just like, oh, it's not anything like the first movie. The tone's all dark now,
yeah,
and shit like that. And it just kind of gives you perspective, I think.
Yeah, it gives you an idea. I mean, like our generation, we grew up on Star Trek Next Generation. A lot of us view it as at least equal to the original series. I prefer it to the original series, but
yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing just looking back and, you know, all the outrage that we get now. It still was around back then.
New Star Trek crew flies into trouble from the Trekkies. So that you could maybe translate that headline into, like, you know, fans reject, you know, diverse new, some kind of Chud YouTube video is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, how can that
fans are furious?
How can that guy be a captain? He doesn't even have hair. The fuck?
Oh God, what are they thinking?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
What are they thinking? Oh, man, they're all so young.
Yeah, there's that too.
It's ludicrous. The charm and success of the show were based on the perfect mix of the characters. I just love the idea that, like, the assumption that can never be repeated, like that it's only these specific characters that make it what it is, and like you can't.
Now the characters did a little bit better in the movies, but like in the main TV show, you could only really count on getting some Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. Everyone else, there's a very good there's a chance they'll be there, but they'll do like in the background saying something, but like have like no actual character role. Maybe they get something, but it's not common. Just Spock, Kirk, McCoy are the only ones you count on pretty much every week.
Yeah, I don't know. I see stuff like this kind of reaction come up whenever there's some other new thing, not Star Trek necessarily. Yeah, I just wish people would take into account history and how, like, you know, maybe you're not the first person or people to have this kind of thought about a thing that you haven't seen.
You know, it's always just, you know, give it a chance. Like, and I've always said this before. Listen, if you watch a trailer and you don't like a trailer, you're allowed to say it's a bad trailer. It just doesn't mean the product's bad. It just means it's a bad trailer. It's that simple.
And on that note, that is a segue into this clip that I'll show on the way out the door, because you actually say that in this clip.
Ooh.
So, anything you wanted to promote or anything before we go?
Live stream Thursday. We'll be going over some South Park and doing some Mary Jane stuff, which we should also have videos on the initiative coming out on that. So,
boom,
that'll be a nice crossover.
Yep, we'll have videos out tomorrow. We'll have video out Friday. We'll have stream tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we have stream tomorrow too. Good times.
So you know, it's a surprise. The stream tomorrow. It's a big surprise to us too, but we'll see. Have a good night, everybody. Happy Halloween and whatnot. And, don't give your kids drugs in the candy and stuff. Don't put razor blades in there, y'all motherfuckers, sadists and shit. Peace and, take care of one another and whatnot.
Like in the West, they're starting to draw more and more towards, Korean or Japanese filmmaking.
The initiative.
And what is the most recent Japanese film, or at least entertainment, that you enjoyed so far?
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example. I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like that, and it's like Chinese, I think. But yeah, like it's what am I thinking of?
Will Jordan, aka the Critical Drinker. If you have spent any time in the YouTube movie space, then you've undoubtedly been recommended one of his videos before. You've probably even watched one or two. He is a Scottish author known for his Ryan Drake book series. They appear to be a variant on Jack Ryan and Jason Bourne and numerous other examples in popular literature, and the overall success of these books is unclear. His fans talk about them a lot, but I myself have never seen one on a bookshelf. Now, all of this is rather incidental because his real success is as the Critical Drinker. His YouTube channel has over 1.5 million subscribers, and his videos, which are typically released a couple of times a week, regularly get 1 million views and often gets much more. He also has additional channels where he'll do live streams and content fairly similar to content on his main channel, which is on an alternative channel for reasons that aren't really clear. However, his popularity is constantly growing. From script to video, it's likely his numbers will be even higher than reported here. And it wouldn't even be a hot take to call him the most popular media critic on the platform.
What's up, internet? It's the Critical Drinker here. I'm just getting ready to fly home to Scotland, but no trip to America would be complete without a little bit of this.
He's out of line, but he's right.
In his videos, he plays a drunk man reviewing a movie trailer or just some random media news, and if you only watch a few of his videos, then you may not have a lot of thoughts about him. In fact, he has many videos that are simply movie reviews that, while not particularly deep, they do the job of expressing his ideas on the media. His movie reviews appear fairly standard in their ratio of good to bad reviews, praising media like Arcane, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman, and many, many more. However, there is usually an interesting statement by him that stands out in his positive reviews that seem a bit unnecessary and off.
This movie would almost certainly have been some kind of coming-of-age story centered around Joy instead of Evelyn. Just another generic plot about a young woman's quest to find herself and realise her potential in a bland and uncaring world. And well, thank fuck the writers went a different route with this one. Evelyn is a fantastic character that's so much more layered and interesting than any bland, directionless Gen Z could ever hope to be.
What?
There seems to be a bit of a debate going on about whether or not this movie is woke. If I was a cynical man, I'd say it's kind of interesting that the rich, corrupt scumbags targeted by the Riddler all happen to be straight, white, middle-aged men, but hey, I guess that's just a total coincidence.
These are weird comments since one of the main points of Everything Everywhere All at Once was a mother learning to understand and accept her Gen Z daughter, and statistically,